Mauritius. We have heard a lot about this island nation, its pristine beauty and its picturesque resorts. But have you ever wondered who runs this marvelous country and who put Mauritius on the world map? Well, it's the Hindus. Hindus who came from India made Mauritius their own. In this series developed by TFI, we trace back to the story of how Hindus traveled to different countries across the planet, settled there and made it their home. Last time, we covered the story of Hinduism in the island nation of Fiji. The second country in the list is the nation of Mauritius, or as many people call it, Mini India. So why is it called Mini India? And how powerful are the Hindus in Mauritius? Well, let's find out. Hi and welcome. You're watching TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm Siddharth, your host. In this video, I will talk about Hinduism in the beautiful nation of Mauritius. Let's begin. Mauritius is a small island off the coast of Africa. What makes this country incredibly interesting is that it is the only country in Africa that is a Hindu majority state. 670,000 Hindus reside in the tiny picturesque country, which amounts to almost 50% of the total population. Meanwhile, 1/3 of the country identify as Roman Catholic, while the others identify as Muslim. The overwhelming presence of Hindus in a country thousands of kilometers away from India made Prime Minister Narendra Modi describe Mauritius as Little India during his 2015 trip to the country. Akin to other countries with a sizable Indian population, the Indo-Mauritians were brought to the African nation by the British colonists as part of the indentured labor system to work on their fields to grow cash crops. Reportedly, between 1835 and 1907, an estimated 5 lakh indentured laborers, 2/3 of which were Bhojpuri-speaking natives from eastern Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, arrived in Mauritius. While the practice was cruel, as was the norm at the time, the Hindus, as they usually do, made the foreign alien conditions hospitable to call it home. However, after Mauritius gained independence in 1968, the political power of the country has been held by descendants of Indian indentured laborers. The presence of Hindus also means that Mauritius is home to several spectacular temples. Mahashivratri in Mauritius is celebrated like Ganesh Chaturthi in Mumbai, while Diwali is an official holiday in the country's calendar. Maheshwarnath Shiv Mandir, Sagar Shiv Mandir, Pandurang Kshetra Mandir, and Sri Prasanna Venkateshwara Temple are a few of the most popular temples across the country that tourists and locals throng throughout the year. As a result, Mauritius and India have excellent bilateral relations and people-to-people ties. One of the most famous places in Mauritius is the Ganga Talau, situated near the western boundaries of the island atop the mountains. This crater lake is found in a secluded mountain area 1800 feet above sea level, and on Hindu festivals and special occasions, the lake lights up with Hindu rituals. The name of the lake derives inspiration from the mighty Ganga river in India. There is a particularly intriguing story behind the origin of the Ganga Talau. According to popular folklore, a priest named Pandit Jhummon Giri once saw a dream about a holy lake that was connected to the Ganga. The priest, convinced about the reality of his dreams, set out on a seemingly impossible journey of finding one such lake. After some time, he came across a lake amidst volcanic rocks above 1800 feet sea level, situated in a picturesque location, and he felt that this was the same lake he had dreamt of. The food habits of the Mauritians are very similar to that of the Indians due to obvious reasons. The Indian-inspired Mauritian curries are a big hit, while atta, maida, and lentils form part of a staple diet of the people. Although the nation has no official language, Mauritius is the second most spoken language behind French-based Mauritian Creole. Meanwhile, English is used as a medium of instruction. Under current Mauritian Prime Minister Pravind Jugnauth and PM Modi, the ties between the two nations have only soared. Indians are extremely proud of the diplomacy extended to the Vanilla Islands, as it strengthens India's naval position against China's invasive and belligerent ambition in the Indian Ocean. As reported by TFI, after Mauritius was put in the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force, it was India that stood beside it and helped the country get out of the doomed list by using its clout in the Paris-based watchdog. Reportedly, when External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar visited Mauritius earlier this year in February, Prime Minister Pravind Jugnauth remained thankful to the Indian government for its support and stated, based on the respect for the rule of law. In that context, we reviewed the latest developments in respect of the completion of the decolonization of Mauritius, a matter on which India has given its unflinching support right from the beginning of our struggle. In February, India signed a landmark Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement with Mauritius, the first of its kind with an African nation, making the strategically located country a launchpad for business expansion into the huge African continent. At the time, S. Shankar also remarked, "Every time I'm here in your beautiful country, I realize how closely we are bound to be amongst people like you, who continue to cherish and celebrate their Indian roots and traditions so vibrantly. This is actually a feeling which is very difficult to put in words." India and Mauritius are culturally alike, and while the rise of the fundamentalism has hurled few curveballs towards the Hindu inhabitants of the country, the African nation continues to thrive and contain its Hindu identity.